Controversy now. A lot of people outraged by a new film about a fictional assassination of President Bush. Death of a President premiered last week at the Toronto Film Festival, but the movie has especially angered someone almost killed by an assassination attempt himself. Former White House Press Secretary James Brady was shot and permanently disabled when John Hinckley tried to kill Ronald Reagan. He and his wife are now warning the movie might inspire another Hinckley if it is shown in America. Big Story correspondent Douglas Kennedy just spoke to the Bradys and is here now. Doug.
Yeah, John, the image in this movie of the killing of President Bush is very unnerving. Anybody who's seen it describes it as tasteless. But that hasn't stopped the producers from moving ahead with trying to distribute it here in America. The picture is both graphic and disturbing. A man dressed like President Bush, with President Bush's security, President Bush's ears, nose, and face, is shot and killed at a Chicago hotel. The image is from Death of a President, a controversial new film about the fictional future killing of President Bush in 2007. Death's producer, British director Gabriel Range, says he made the movie to create a dialogue about Bush's global war on terror. It's an explanation that doesn't sit well with Sara Brady, who I spoke with by phone earlier today.
Oh, I'm absolutely appalled. Both Jim and I just can't imagine any rationale under the sun that would call for such a thing.
Sara Brady is the wife of Jim Brady, the former press secretary who was shot in the head during John Hinckley's failed attempt on President Reagan's life. She says they both fear the powerful image of the current president being shot may prompt a real-life copycat.
I think all of us have emblazoned in our minds previous assassinations and then the assassination attempt that has left such a mark on our family. And it just makes us, I think, probably even more sympathetic to how President Bush or to any rational person would feel seeing something of this type.
Particularly unnerving is how real the serialized shooting seems. Producers used archival footage of the actual President Bush, coupled with special effects to create what could easily be an actual killing. Former Reagan speechwriter Peggy Noonan calls that irresponsible. The producer of this movie say the Americans have freedom of speech in their country, so too bad we're showing this film. What do you say to that?
I'm an American. I love freedom of speech. I say freedom of speech is wonderful, but so is maturity and dignity and knowing the impact you have on the minds of unstable people. So is knowing that some things are unthinkable and should be treated as the unthinkable lest you inspire them.
Now this week, John, Newmarket Films bought Death. This is the same film company that distributed Passion of Christ. And they say they're definitely planning to open it here in America. So it could be a very big distribution.
Douglas, this director, I mean, he just hates Bush, doesn't he?
You know, that's the disturbing part of this whole thing. This is a political statement, and something Peggy Noonan said off camera is when you kill a political figure in a democracy, what you're actually trying to do is kill democracy. And you know, lots of people who don't like Bush are very angered by this and think all of Americans should be angered by this.
Should it be censored?
You know, we live with freedom of speech. You know, he should have censored it himself, and Americans should censor it by not going to see it.
Douglas Kennedy. Douglas, thank you.